Welcome back into the shop, you guys. Before I jump into the video, I first want to say that this is probably one of the first times in a long time that I've actually filmed without being drenched in sweat, so that is a good start. So as you can probably tell by the title and thumbnail, I am going to be embarking on one of the biggest, largest projects here on the channel and in my woodworking career, I guess you could say. So there is a lot to unfold and unpack with this project. Towards the end of the video, I'll kind of give you an overview of the project itself. So when I say this is the largest project I've taken on, I actually mean that. This is going to be about 14 feet long, about 9 feet tall, and I think it's somewhere around 2 to 3 feet in depth. I guess later in the video, if you can come up with a name or something for this project as a whole, that'd be nice to share, so I would appreciate that. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be a 14-foot long solid piece of furniture. This is going to be built in sections, and then once it's all put together, it'll make up the larger size. And if you've paid attention to the last couple of videos, you've seen that I've not only got a new table saw, but I also have a new outfeed table. I have a new shop setup a little bit, and hopefully once I actually get going on the construction of it, it should be a little bit better working in this environment opposed to the last shop setup that I had. Now don't worry if you haven't seen any of those videos, I'll go over it a little bit right now. This whole setup actually looked completely different. I had a different table saw, a different table, I had the jointer in a different place. So larger panels, casework, plywood components, that sort of stuff could be built and constructed on this table. Now the previous table that was here is actually now a secondary workbench in a way over here. I was hoping that this could be like a sanding station. And then if you saw the table saw setup, you saw that I also got a new router table, which is an extension wing built into the actual table saw. And I kind of get the best of both worlds in that I get a nice sturdy router table, but it's also built in to the table saw. And now here's one thing that I really want to show you about the current space that I have set up. Dun, 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 dun. Look at the vast amount of space I have for assembly, construction, whatever the heck I want it to be. Okay, standing up on the workbench, this might be a better angle, but you can see that with that cart moved and the outfeed table moved out of the way, this space right here is so large that with whatever I build, I can have a 360 all the way around it. Now this might not be exciting to you, but for me and for what I do out here, this is super exciting because it allows me to work better. And I think that going through the effort of making a shop functional is super important. And part of what actually allowed me to make the shop a lot more clean and give me some more open space was actually by getting all of the things I don't really use that often up here in a storage rack. And to be completely transparent, FlexiMount did send these out to me for free. However, I'm not being paid or endorsed to say anything about them. I installed these and put them up myself, and if there was something wrong with the product or something I didn't like, I would share that with you. And if you click on the first link in the description, you'll be able to save 10% off your order on FlexiMounts. So now for the exciting part, let's go ahead and jump on the computer and I'll show you guys more about this project. So here is the current SketchUp drawing that I have done. Now this is not the first rendering that I've done. I've actually done 3 previous ones, and this is kind of like the third draft. So like I said earlier, this is going to be about 14 feet in length, 9 feet in height, and about 24 to 36 inches in length. This middle section here is actually going to pop out a little bit more, and that's going to give the entire unit a little bit more depth and give it more detail. Now a couple things right off the bat, you can probably tell that there's going to be some traditional styling with this, like with the crown molding here, these little bump outs, the shelving cove details here that you can see. And then over on the left side, this is actually going to be completely custom, a standing desk that will slide in and out, that also has a keyboard tray and then some pocket doors. So this will slide completely in just like this. And then those doors closing up just like that will conceal everything in, and you won't be able to see what's actually in it. And this is actually nice though, because the entire workstation could be opened up, the keyboard slid out, and you could have a pretty efficient working area, but then you can close it up at night and not have to worry about it. Now these doors currently in the model are just flat panels, as well as the drawers on the bottom here. Now most likely this will actually be a raised panel here in the middle, and then our rail in style, kind of like on a cabinet door. And then same thing on the drawers down here. Most likely it won't just be a flat piece of wood like that. Now, this entire model is not exactly what it's going to look like, but it's pretty close, and this is what I gave the client when we were going over the design. So some other cool features in this unit are actually the adjustable shelves up here on the top, as well as over on this right side. This entire bank of shelves is going to be adjustable, and this will be super nice because if you want to take any of those out and put something in there that's taller, you could always do that. And then this entire bank of drawers on the bottom is pretty symmetrical when you look at it head on. However, on the right side, you can tell that those drawers are going to be a little bit longer. Now these I have planned to be full extension drawers, so those will come out the entire depth of the cabinet. And then one thing I almost forgot to mention are these kind of like pull-out shelf things here. And these will actually slide out just like the drawers the entire depth of the cabinet. And those will also be on runners as well. That way they're nice and sturdy. And these just kind of serve as more work surfaces that could be used for, you know, doing paperwork, bills, that sort of thing. And then you can just push it in when you're done and not have to worry about it. And then one last detail I'll show you up here is at the top where these crown pieces are up here. There's actually going to be a detail that is traditional in style. And this is actually going to be matching some of the other cabinetry that they have in their home. And when you look at the entire unit as a whole, it really gives it like a strong, sturdy presence. So that is kind of the approach we're taking with the upper half with the crown molding. Now, like I said earlier, these are all probably going to be different sections in that the bottom drawers, like here, this middle section, and over here are going to be separate from the upper parts, like here, the part where the TV is, and then this side. So there's probably going to be at least 6 parts to this, and that will hopefully be better for transportation, the installation of this entire thing, and then also the assembly in the shop. Like I said earlier, dealing with smaller pieces like this and this are much more manageable than the entire thing at once. So with that said, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little walkthrough on this upcoming project. If you're excited to see this project pan out, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now I'm planning on doing a little bit more laid back style with the videos on this project, and I'll kind of break it into different parts. So like obviously this section over here with the built-in desk is going to be its own video. Probably the drawers will be their own video, that kind of thing. So I'm pretty excited to get going on this. I've had this rendering on the computer for a little while now, and I'm looking forward to actually getting it in real life, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next part.